Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of the I'm Only Serious News Network's Sunday paper program. We got a full house for you tonight. Starting off, we got Ebola is spreading in the U.S. and Europe, thanks to the Africans and their constant diaspora. Gay marriage is coming to a state near you, as the Supreme say okay. For the Vegas Strip, too. ISIS is moving despite all our bombing, and heads keep a rolling while the Crusaders are sobbing. In Missouri, the shootings have not gone away, and another teenager dies. Don't shoot, was his last say. Going out for a night and need a place to stay? Check out a W Hotel and get the room service their way. These stories and more with John Smarmy's Brown Eye on the World, Ron Morrow's Mystic Minute, John Rice's Life's Just a Game, Rob Watkins here to give us a sports update, Darren Martinez movie views and reviews, and Tony Viejo's misled thoughts. A full vote ahead for you folks on tonight's edition of the I'm Only Serious News Network's Sunday paper program.
It's the I'm Only Serious News Network with Dan Mahan, John Smarmy, Rob Watkins, John Rice, Dave Morrow, Tony Viejo, and Darren Martinez.
In national news, a Delaware couple celebrate their baby's short life. The mother, who was pregnant with a baby that had a disease where they only lived for a few hours. Well, her and her son wanted to knock off the bucket list before that ever came. Let's see, they went into Disney World, Flyers games, Phillies games, the Empire State Building, and of course, the shower of love was thrown by their friends in September to raise all this money. Yeah, I don't think it was for the kid. Do you? Cracker, please. And this week, a federal appeals court declared gay marriage in Idaho and Nevada legal. This week, Las Vegas hasn't been marrying gay couples? Cracker, please. Why the long wait? You think the self-proclaimed wedding capital of the world would have been the first to allow gay marriage? I mean, who needs rules when what goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas? I, for one, folks, am against same-sex marriage. And if you've been married for more than 5 years, you know what I mean. It has nothing to do with being gay. And the Reverend Jesse Jackson got involved with the Ebola outbreak here in the United States with his latest hot-button issue when he led a prayer vigil outside the hospital where the man from Liberia was being treated. The man died the next day, thus making the prayer vigil the first good thing Jesse Jackson has done for this country. And if JJ really wants to help out his African kinfolk, he should be praying that they discover oil over there so he'd really get involved. Cracker, please. And in Missouri, another teen gets shot. That's right. Another 18-year-old teenager was shot and killed by a St. Louis cop this time. And his mother said her son wasn't holding a gun, it was a sandwich. A sandwich. Of course, ballistic evidence shows that he fired 3 shots before his gun jammed, which means he was probably having a peanut butter and jam sandwich. That's what his mom updated her comment about. And you'd be surprised to notice, as I was, folks, that Cubans are arriving at a massive rate now in our country. But unlike the Mexicans that we have to build a fence to keep them out, the Cubans have a free reign. That's right. If you're from Cuba, no matter how you get here, be it boat, be it plane, be it up through Mexico, once you're in like Flynn. That's according to our 1966 Cuban Adjustment Act, which allows them to apply for permanent residency after a year and automatically receive permission to stay in the United States once they arrive. Yeah, I bet those Mexicans wish they had the Castro brothers running their shit, don't they? How much easier would that be? And back in Delaware, a young girl, 4 years old, was caught passing out heroin at school. Yeah. She grabbed the wrong school bag on her way out, which had 250 packets of heroin. Yeah. She's now been transferred to the Philadelphia School District. And in Massachusetts, where apparently they're not having a problem with money up there because the Boston City Council approved giving itself a 23% pay raise. Yeah. Despite the fact that the threats of a veto by the mayor. Council members voted to raise their annual pay from $87,000 to $107,000. Of course, their salaries already exceed those in other New England states and even some U.S. cities with far larger populations. How about that? And good news about the police up in Michigan. A police officer pulled over a vehicle because a 5-year-old girl wasn't secured in a booster seat. And instead of ticketing the people, he took them to the store and bought a booster seat for the couple. Of course, once they pulled away and he noticed they had an 18-year-old black son, he pulled him over again and shot him. And New Jersey high schools are thinking about changing their start times for their kids to go to class, because studies have been done showing that teenagers are better at learning if they can start school a little later. And the senator behind it, Richard Cody, had this to say: "It's resonating with parents and students. He's had students thank him on the street since his bill was introduced Thursday. It's the best thing that ever happened to me," he said. "Young high school girls kissing me." Time to check his emails and his downloads. How about that? It's the best thing that ever happened to him. Cracker, please. And when it comes to hotel chains, you can't do better than the W hotels, folks. No siree. Apparently, it's all started uncovering about this hotel chain when a wife and her husband went, and she was waiting for her husband in the lobby, and she got beat up by a bunch of hookers in there, thinking that she was making a move on their territory. She ended up hiring agents of her own who went to these hotels, and employees would openly, without hesitation, procure the services of prostitutes for the agents. When asked about getting caught and being prosecuted by law enforcement, the employees reassured the agents there was no risk of discovery. And not only would they do that, but they would send provocative pictures of prostitutes so you could have your choice. Not bad. At one such W hotel, a prostitute used a consigliere to charge her cell phones and store her purse. A manager at the Times Square, New York W allegedly told undercover agents, "We manage prostitution. We let it happen." He then allegedly directed agents to a hotel security guard who offered them a steady stream of strumpets, like items off a menu, they said. Oral arguments will be heard in this case later. That's what it says. Oral. You got it? The Inquirer is still good. Well, one set of parents out in Alaska got some good news, folks. They went to their knock on their son's girlfriend's door to let them know that their son had died in an accident. At least that's what they were told. Weren't they surprised when he answered the door? Cracker, please. No doubt about it. And a woman who spent 17 years in prison for murder was cleared out in California. She was convicted of murdering a homeless man. Spent 17 years in prison for it. Once cleared, she was released and found out she was homeless. Watch where you go. And that's it for our national news. But for more on the national scene and the world scene, we go to our very own John Smarmy with his one brown eye on the world. Smarmy?
Thanks, Dan. Hey folks, Smarmy here, back from vacation. Let's see what's going on. Gunman kisses robbery victims. Not only is he dangerous and life-threatening, but romantic and affectionate as well. We need more of that in the gun threats in this community. Stephen Collins, the actor who played the Holy Dad from Seventh Heaven, admitted to molesting 3 children. Then the next day, coincidentally, the Seventh Heaven actress Sarah Goldberg, she died at 40. I'm starting to see a connection here. I knew something was weird about that show. Bunch of holy white people walking around doing good morals. The people that played them, sick people, just like in the churches. Adrian Peterson to plead not guilty for child abuse. I would not want to be his son. Not only because I would be black, Tim Eli says that's good, but you know, the punishment would be a little bit too tense. Can't imagine getting disciplined by that gentleman. Sexual harassment restaurant workers are rampant. 46% for men. Wait, these are all guys? All 46%? There's no way they're all harassed by a woman. Sounds like a dream. Anybody got a server job for Smarmy? I could use some sexual harassment. No homo. Restaurant sells sex toys with meals. Yes, can I get a number one with a pecker pump? I've always wanted to say that. Take it easy, I'm only Smarmy. Man calls 911 because he was lonely. I don't really have anything to add to that, but I felt like doing that myself. Good thing I didn't. Man robs a liquor store with a banana, then he split. Anybody? No. Alright, and finally I want to wrap it up saying Smarmy has not seen any of these nude leaked celebrity photos. Not because I have respect, but I have a virus on my computer. And I'm afraid to get it now. If anyone wants to send them to Smarmy at ILS News. I'm making up that email. Don't send it. Doesn't exist. But Dan, what else do you have there? John Smarmy. I'm only serious news.
Thank you, Smarmy. Well, it's some international news, folks. Turns out, despite our U.S. airstrikes, the Syrian cell we were trying to kill is still active. The barrage of U.S. cruise missiles, stated in the Inquirer, last month aimed at the Syrian terror cell killed just one or two key militants, according to the American intelligence over there, who say the group of veteran al-Qaeda fighters is still believed to be plotting attacks against the U.S. and European targets. That was the Khorasan group, if you remember back then. Yeah, killed two of them. But don't worry, folks. On September 22nd, we only fired 46 cruise missiles at them. 46. At $1 million apiece. So, yeah, cost $23 million apiece to kill these guys. The strikes were certainly effective in setting back the Khorasan group, but no one thinks they were a permanent solution, says Jackass Representative Adam Schiff from California, who, by the way, is a major stockholder in the company that makes cruise missiles. Cracker, please. Wouldn't assassins be cheaper? I mean, what do they cost? A couple grand? Get the mob. Have to let them out of jail and send them over there. And also in international news, Putin celebrated his 62nd birthday. Oh yeah, they're all happy and giddy over there. Selling t-shirts with his likeness on it. Raising money to take over to Ukraine. Cracker, please. It's about time we put an end to him, too. Liquor him up with that vodka they're so famous for. Who's up next?
Rob.
But enough with the international news. Let's get into some lighthearted sports talk with our very own Rob Watkins on sports. Rob?
Thanks, Dan. Hi, I'm Rob Watkins with your Sports NFL Sunday Moment. I'm still here. I did not do very well with sports last week. I had my car repoed and I was able to walk here because I also had my bicycle tire repossessed. So I have a bike, but just one tire. So I walked here from, it's about 10 miles. I made some money as I went along. I don't know if I'm at liberty to tell, but you can use your imagination involving hands and underpants. I thought I made a shoe-in bet. Hopefully I did today, maybe to get some of the money back. The Seahawks are currently winning against the Dallas Cowboys today. Let's hope. But I also made a bet on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who lost to the Ravens 48-17. Thought they were due. I don't know, Dan. Things aren't going too well.